wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm whispering because everybody's gonna go to sleep now. But I went to the beach with my best friend this afternoon, and then we went back to his place and made some burgers, and then we played Mario Party. So we just made it to the beach again, and he was finally able to go again because we went on a Sunday this time rather than going on a Friday, because I'm actually most likely going back to the beach on Friday. And I feel like it's probably going to be our last beach day of the season, unless I go back with my best friend again the weekend after that. I already have plans this weekend pretty much with that beach day on Friday, and then I'm going to Jersey on Sunday for American Dream for my birthday with my two best girlfriends and my best friend, my best guy friend, and her boyfriend, and their husbands. Oh my god. Wow, they're both married. I'm not. So anyway, yeah, it was really nice. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the, actually I didn't put on a lip oil because I just put on a gloss today. I have to reach that, actually. I forgot to grab it. And then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder, and then for my eyeshadow palette today, I just went into the Lilac You a Lot palette. I've just been wanting to use ColourPop a lot, so I went into Zoned Out in the crease, and then I just went in with Fluff all over the lid, and then I used Trainwreck on the inner corners, and that's all I used because I was just going to the beach. So it's not like I said, I don't ever do like super involved looks when I go to the beach. I think I've said that every single time, but again, I went like 4 times already this summer because I'm just not working. I don't know why I'm not on the schedule. They all fucking suck. So probably just because I'm late all the time, so I really don't care. I have money right now, so it's not really a huge deal. And then I went in with the ColourPop Gel Liner in the shade Amethyst Hour, and then I went into the Tower 28 mascara on the top lashes and the Maybelline Lash Scrubber on the bottom lashes. Then I primed my face with the Tower 28 SOS spray, and then I used the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer, and then for my foundation, I went into the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One, and then I used the Kulfi Concealer in the shade Bad Bottom. It was so windy today that like my eyeshadow like creased really badly here, that like it really didn't last that well. My makeup does not last well in the wind. Honestly, I probably won't even wear eyeshadow on Friday, but like I'm planning to either not wear makeup on Wednesday, or I'm probably not wearing makeup Saturday, because I'm literally going to do nothing Saturday because the day after is American Dream, and then the day after that is my birthday. So I'm going to be so wiped from American Dream. So I don't even know what I'm doing on my birthday yet, because I usually just go out to dinner with my boyfriend, and then I'll go out with my family the next day, most likely. And then, back to my face. I went into the House Labs powder to set my under eyes, and then I set my face with ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder again, and then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop matte bronzer in the shade Alviva Beach. Oh my god. It's like I'm using a beach bronzer for the beach. And then for my blush, I just went into the Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks palette, and, I went into the shade Love Me. It's just a good purpley blush. And then for my highlight, those burgers were really good, but they were very filling. I went into the Becca highlighter in the shade, I forgot what it was called for a second, Lilac Geode. Such a good purpley highlighter. And then for my I have books on my lap because I forgot to show you guys the books that I've gotten the past couple of days. Because, I still wanted to do a little book shopping in my birthday month. So I got a couple. I'm not trying to go insane. Like, my bookshelves are so full right now. And then I went into the ColourPop Luxe Gloss in the shade Total Nonsense from the Alice in Wonderland duo. I'm just going to stick it right back in here. But that one's a really pretty, like, purpley gloss. And again, I usually only just wear a lip oil, a lip balm, or a lip gloss to the beach because we ain't wearing lipstick. There's no point. And then I just set my brows with the Essence brow gel, and then I set my face with Milk Makeup setting spray. I don't know why I said that backwards, but that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, I did finish Dark Star Burning Ash Falls White. I don't know why it's so hard to say those names. Last night, and oh my god, I cried my eyes out finishing that book. I knew that it was gonna happen, but at the same time, like, I thought that this was going to be resolved at the end, but basically one of the main characters had to sacrifice themselves in order to stop the destruction that the demon gods were going to what do you call it, inflict on the humans. And oh my god, it was so tragic. And oh my god, it was so tragic. It was just so good that I ended up bumping up my rating of the first one to a 5 along with the second one. 5-star duology. I'm so glad that I decided to read a duology this month. And again, I'm just still so into fantasy right now. I just have been loving it. I don't know if I might just continue. I mean, I am continuing because I started another fantasy book today. But it was just such a beautiful story. But honestly, like, it really is meant to be told as a duology. And I love those kind of stories. Like, sometimes, like, with standalones, I mean, I haven't read any standalone fantasies yet, but I feel like with standalones, it's like, sometimes you want a little bit more, or if the story wasn't that good, like maybe you didn't feel satisfied when you get to the end, maybe you just need another one. But like with duologies, they're just so perfect, they're so short and sweet, but oh my god, just such an amazing, magical, high stakes Chinese fantasy story, and I ate it up. They were so beautiful and just so much amazing magic in them. Oh, they were so good. I've been really loving the books that I've been reading lately, but those ones got me. And I didn't think I was going to be this emotionally attached to the two characters. Like, I'm not like diehard for them. Just the story was so tragic. So, just such a beautifully written story. I really, really loved it. So then, continuing on with my fantasy kick, I wanted something a little bit less challenging and not something that I needed to get into the fantasy world. I wanted to just get right into something. I didn't want to be like figuring out the politics and the magic system and all of that. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, especially after when you finish like one like that. So I decided to start The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and this is supposed to be more so of a cozy fantasy, and honestly, I really haven't read too much cozy fantasy at all, because really the only cozy fantasy book that I had read was Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I did not like that book. I thought it was so beyond boring that, like, honestly, I didn't really want to read any more cozy fantasy. But then I saw such high reviews about this book on Goodreads, and this is so adorable. It's hysterical. I'm laughing at like every page. And sorry, my boyfriend threw me off for a second. And it's like, so the main character's story is just so intriguing. Basically, she's a librarian that stole a bunch of spell books, and stealing spell books and possessing them without like you being the owner of them is actually illegal in this world, and I'm eating it up. I'm like, oh my god, why did she steal the spell books? I thought she was like a valid librarian that could, you know, keep these books, but for some reason she had to escape where she was living, and she had to go to this cottage that she inherited from her mother and her parents, her parents after they passed away. But also, like, there's a story behind how her parents died. So I am eating this up, and she like talks to this talking spider plant, and their conversations are hysterical. But also, like, she doesn't really have social skills. She doesn't really have any, like, kind of survival skills. She's never really had to survive on her own before. So, like, there's just all these little funny things about, like, how she's gonna get food, how she's gonna cook, how she's gonna do basic things. And, she also wanted to light a fire, and the chimney was clogged, obviously, because no one has lived in this cottage for years. And like the neighbor comes over and like scares the shit out of her coming when she was sleeping. And he's like, well, you know, I noticed that you just moved in. And she's like, but I don't know if he's gonna murder me. Like, her internal dialogue was so funny. And she was like, I could actually see his face now, and he's actually really he's a beautiful man, but that doesn't mean he's not a murderer. Like, it's just really funny. So I'm eating it up. I'm on page 56 because, like, I just started it last night, and since I went to the beach today, I think I just read like 45 pages right now, but I'm going to continue reading this because I do not want to put this down. It is so good so far, and I just want to find out more, so hopefully I can get up to page 100. But like, I'm getting that feeling where I don't want to stop reading it. Like, I just want to keep on picking it up, and I haven't been feeling like that about, well, I was about A Fate Inked in Blood and Five Broken Blades, and then I got into these two books, and then I loved them. So like I said, I wasn't really feeling like reading at the beginning of this month. And then I got into these books so hard that I feel like they got me back into reading more. Not that I don't want to read all the time, but sometimes you just don't feel like reading. And I didn't want to make myself fall into a slump. So I still haven't been in a reading slump yet, but I was feeling a little slumpy, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just read the ones that I really want to read and the genre that I'm really wanting to read right now, and it's fantasy. So that's basically the secret to getting out of a reading slump, or honestly, audiobooks really help. So anyway, I went book shopping with one of my book besties yesterday. She's really like the only person that really reads as much as I do, or I just started reading hardcore this year. She's been a reader for a long time. And I picked up just 2 books from Barnes & Noble because we went to Barnes & Noble yesterday. And I picked up this one, and I was surprised that this book was only $20. Okay, so hey there guys, I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I actually got home pretty early because I'm pretty tired. Me and my boyfriend only stayed out for like 2 hours. I got home at like 6:45. I left at like 4, so it was almost like 3 hours. But honestly, like, we still can't hang out at his house, so we just went out to dinner in his town. Because before we were thinking about going like a little bit further out, but then he decided that he didn't want to drive that far. And honestly, like, his town has some great restaurants, so we just went to eat there. And then I got some boba walking around his town, and then we just went to the dispensary so he could get a vape, and that was it. So honestly, again, I'm so tired because I did a lot this weekend, so I'm so happy just to be home to read for the rest of the night. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I just went into the ColourPop Flirty Talk palette because sorry, my phone is so distracting. You can go over there. Because I wore like this pink cardigan that I just bought from Macy's, so I wanted to wear that. And it's just like a cute, easy cardigan to wear, and I just wore it with a pair of jeans and a tank top, and it was just really cute. Went to this diner that we really love. I've never had their tacos before, so I got their chicken tacos, and they were so good. So I went into Talk to Me in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Your Fave, and then I used the Anastasia single shadow on the outer corners. I'll tell you guys the shade in a minute, because I can never remember the shade. And then I went into blushing on the lid. I use like these two shades all the time, so I wanted to go into like the deeper pink. But honestly, I probably should have used like a not as like pink magenta kind of palette. I should have used like a like kind of a, I guess not as pink as this one, but I just decided to use this one. And then for my inner corners, I used Just My Type. And I also had a cocktail at the diner because like they're kind of like a more modernized diner. So it's not like a typical diner, and their food is so good. And then I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Money on the brow bone. I think we went there together like years ago, but usually we just order their food to go. But we haven't had their food in like a few months because like the last time we ordered from there, the food wasn't that great. But I feel like sometimes the quality of food can vary if you like ordered to go as opposed to eating there. So we ate it there today, and it was so good. And then I went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade brown, and then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then I went into the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara on the top lashes, and then the Maybelline Lash Scrub on the bottom lashes. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then I went into the, okay, she's in the kitchen. And then I went into the Tower 28 SOS Facial Spray, and then the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I just went into the House Labs Foundation and Concealer just to go into like a lighter combo. So this is the shade 050 Fair Cool. And then I went into the House Labs Concealer in the shade 01 Fair Neutral, and then I set my under eyes with Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder. I'm so tired right now. I also have been going to bed too late, so I'm so happy that I'm home earlier so I can just read earlier. And then for the bronzer, I went into the Pat McGrath Labs bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. And then for my blush, I wanted to use the ColourPop liquid blush again. This one is such a pretty one. So I went into the shade Thanks. It's just such a good liquid blush. And then for my highlighter, I went into the Pretty Vulgar highlighter by Pretty Vulgar in the shade Shimmering Swan. I hadn't used this in quite a long time, and it just looked really pretty today, so I just used that. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I just went into oh my god. Ow. Did I leave my lipstick at the restaurant there? Why do I have a feeling that I did? I'm gonna have to call them. I think I left it at the restaurant because I went to the bathroom before I left. I might ask them if somebody found a lipstick in the bathroom. Sorry, my boyfriend texted me. Oh my god, can I fucking type? I have to call them. Because I literally just bought that lipstick, and I know I brought it with me, so I'm just gonna call them real quick. But I'll do it after I'm done. So I went into the new Gwen Stefani lipstick that I bought like a couple like a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to use that one again, but yeah, I think I left it at the restaurant. Oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. I used my other bag today. Oh my god. It's right here. I forgot that I didn't use that bag. I'm so used to using the Beauty and the Beast bag. It's right in my other bag. So I used the Gwen Stefani lipstick in these shades, Screen My Phone Calls. Dummy! Okay, so that's everything as far as my makeup goes, and as far as a reading update goes, I'm still reading The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I am eating this up, you guys. I love this book. I think this is going to be a 5-star. I'm just like, I just love the flow of this story, and I just feel like it's so whimsical and so cozy and so magical, and I'm just, again, so intrigued by this story. And I'm on page 152 right now, so I did get to read 50 pages today. So I got way further than I was last night. I was on page 25. So I read like almost 125 pages since then. And I am loving it. I think it's just so good. I really... This is cozy fantasy done right. Because like... I feel like with Encyclopedia of Fairies, it kept on like straying from the actual story of the main character. But this... I am so intrigued by the characters, by the main character's story. I'm just eating it up. I think it's so good. So right now she just opened a jam shop because she has to open like a, it's kind of like she's like selling drugs. Like it's like the same concept of like, as like somebody like basically opening like a front to like sell something that like you really are selling, but you're like selling jam to make a profit. But then like if you really want to see like the good stuff, she's selling like this I think it's like an elixir or something like that of like a magical potion where she is saying like, yeah, I sell like miracles, like stuff like that. Like basically it would be like things that could fix like the magical creatures problems on where she moved right now, because like magic is actually like astray right now, because sorcerers are supposed to come like twice a year and like balance the magic again of like the magical creatures that live there, and also like the environment, like the ocean waters, the forests, the like towns, the weather, everything. They're supposed to like balance everything, but now everything is out of whack because the sorcerers haven't been there in like a long time. I forget why, but basically it's just so intriguing, and she basically can't tell anybody that she is using magic to produce the jam that she's selling. So she basically she had to produce like a magic tree, jam tree full of berries to make her jam, but she couldn't make it look too grand because then people would suspect that she was using magic. I'm just eating it up. I think it's so good, and all I want to do is read this book tonight. It's so good. I'm really loving it. I didn't think I would love it. I felt like I was going to enjoy it, but this really is cozy fantasy that I enjoy, and I really wanted to give cozy fantasy another shot, and I think this is just absolutely perfect for me right now. I just didn't want something that I needed to like invest my full attention into like a new world and fantasy and world building and all of that. This is just so simple and so easy to understand. I highly recommend this. And this kind of got me out of a bit of a reading slump where like all I want to do is read this book right now, when before I didn't really feel like picking up a book. I was like listening to the 2 Chinese fantasies I just finished, the duology. They were amazing, but I was listening to a lot of the audiobook of the second one because I just felt like it was too much work for me to read the physical book, but also like a lot more was going on in that book. But with this one, I just want to read this book. It's so good. And I haven't felt like that since like A Fate Inked in Blood, but also that book took me a little bit longer to get through. But this one, I want to get to as close to finishing it as possible tonight because I think it's amazing. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for yesterday. I'm actually not going to be wearing makeup today. I'm just going to have a day to myself today because I actually have plans for the rest of the week. So today's like my only day where I have a day to myself because actually the past 5 days I ended up going out. And today I'm just like, I don't want to see or deal with literally anyone. I'm like, I can't. I can't do it. So yesterday I went out with my friend Danielle and we went out to dinner, and then we also went to Barnes and Noble, and I did get a few books, but I don't feel like grabbing them right now, so I might just show them to you on Goodreads after I tell you guys my makeup look. So I went into the Anastasia eye primer to prime my eyes, and then I went into the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I just wanted to go into Odin's Eye yesterday. So I went into the Batty Bean Planet Spirit palette. I hadn't used this in a hot second. I think the last time I used this, I possibly used the green shades, but I just think this palette is just, I like to use this at least once or twice in the summertime because the matte shades are just such vibrant, super punchy, neon kind of colors, and the pigmentation of these are some of the best in my collection. This palette is just such beautiful quality. Every time I use it, I love my makeup. So I went into Habitat and the crease, and then I just went into Sanctuary to darken up the defining area and the outer corners. And then for the lid, I just went into Animalia. And then for the inner corners, I just used Majestic, and that was it. That's all I used from this palette. And again, the mattes are just insane good quality in this palette. I don't know why this one and the one from Angie, the Trick or Treat one, the matte shades are just unmatched with the quality of them. But the Flora Story one just is awful, so I don't really know what happened with that palette. But some people said they were having quality issues, but not with this one. I haven't seen anybody say they haven't liked this palette, and for good reason. It's incredible. And then I went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, and then for my waterline, I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Black because I couldn't find my other liner, and I just couldn't be bothered grabbing it, so I just used that. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then I went into the Lancome Hypnose Mascara for my mascara. And then I went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I decided to go into the Tom Ford Traceless Stick Foundation because I have not used this foundation in a while because I just haven't been working, so I wanted to use this today, so that's what I went into. Yesterday in the shade 0.0 Pearl. And then for my concealer, I just went into the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs Powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay Pressed Powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into my Gucci bronzer in the shade 01 because I haven't used this in a little while, so I went in with that. And then for my blush, I hadn't used this blush in a while either, so I went into the Patrick Ta Duo. I don't know why this is so hard for me to open. And I used the... Sorry, I'm so thirsty right now. I went into the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade Do We Know Her, and I took the powder blush first and then topped it with the cream because that's what he says to do with his blushes, and this is just such a beautiful like orangey vibrant blush. And then for my highlight, I went into the Melt Cosmetics Nightmare Before Christmas highlighter. This is the True Love Never Dies Digital Dust highlighter. And this one's just such a gorgeous, like, orangey metallic shade that I wanted to use this, and the packaging is literally amazing. I'm having a feeling they might be coming out with a collection for the Beetlejuice movie. I feel like that would make so much sense because they did do a Beetlejuice collection like 3 years ago. And I feel like this would be such a perfect opportunity for a makeup brand to do a collection. And I feel like Melt would be the perfect brand to do it. And I feel like they could do a really stellar job if they actually like put the effort into it, because the Nightmare Before Christmas collection was like the first collection I was actually interested in them for like a long time. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop Minute Man lip liner. And then for my lipstick, I went into the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Desire. It's like an orangey liquid lipstick, and that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I did finish The Spell Shop yesterday afternoon, and then I just kind of took a little break from reading because I only had like 45 minutes before I had to get ready, so I just watched some YouTube and edited a YouTube video, and then I got ready, and I actually started listening to an audiobook on Spotify because, like I said, I did get my Spotify listening hours back a couple of weeks ago. It's so crazy how fast they go, because I think the only 2 books I've listened to so far is Dark Star Burning, Ash Falls White. I listened to quite a lot of that on audio, but it said I had only used like 6 hours listening to that, but still, you only get 15 hours of listening time every time it renews. And I don't even know if it's monthly. I think it's like, it kind of is monthly, but I think it's over a 30-day time span where you don't have listening hours. Like, basically, for someone that reads as much as I do, and most of the time I'm listening to an audiobook when I'm doing my makeup and getting ready. And also, like, now I just stick my AirPods in whenever I'm doing my night routine, like taking off my makeup, brushing my teeth, taking a shower. I just keep my AirPods in and I'm listening to an audiobook just so I can get through the book faster. But also, like, it's just the most calming thing that I like to do to unwind at night now. If I'm feeling a little stressed or whatever, I just throw on my AirPods and listen to an audiobook, and it's like literally like my favorite thing, besides obviously reading a physical book. But so I actually started Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune on Spotify Premium, because the audiobook is included with Spotify Premium, and I actually already got through the first 100 pages. So I finished The Spell Shop. I freaking loved it. I think I said before that I was getting a 5-star feeling from it, and it was 5 stars for me. Even though, like, I just thought everything was perfect. Like, maybe I was expecting a little bit more from the ending, but, like, once I, like, finished it and thought about it, I'm like, you know what? That was perfect. Like, it's not supposed to be, like, too much happening, but, like, just enough happened in this book that I loved it. It was so magical, so whimsical, so much actually happened, even though you think nothing happened because it's a cozy fantasy. But this was, like, this got me into cozy fantasy now, and I'm just excited to read more, like, in September and October. Like, I probably won't read any more this month because I have too many other books to read. But I loved it so much. And that book was the book to get me back into reading physical books. Because before this, I was like, I really just don't feel like reading. And now when I'm physically reading, that's all I want to do. Like, before, I was like, I just want to watch a YouTube video, or I just want to go on my phone. And I'm like, I don't want to fall into a reading slump, especially in my birthday month. Like I've said, you just need that one book that will just get you back into it. And I probably should have picked up a thriller, but honestly, like, again, all I've been in the mood for lately is fantasy. That's all I want to read. I want to read as many fantasy books as possible this month. So after I read The Spell Shop, I'm like, all I want to do is read. And that was like one of the only books that I read physically fully, not listening to it in between. Like, basically, the only other one that I did that with was A Fate Inked in Blood. I read that book entirely physically, but that took me quite a few days to get through. But The Spell Shop, I got through in like 2 days, and I loved it so much. So, got 100 pages into Meet Me at the Lake. I'm definitely going to read that after I finish the book that I'm reading right now, which is The Revenant Games by Margie Fuston. I don't know how to say her last name. Fuston. I'm just going to say Fuston because Fuston just sounds stupid. So, I picked this up actually like last week at Barnes & Noble, and I'm trying to get better about reading books that I've just bought, but also I need to go back and read books that have been sitting on my shelf for a while now. But I just need to be in the mood for them. But honestly, this book just sounded so intriguing for me to read next because it's about vampires and witches. And I'm like, you know what? I need a good vampire book right now. That's just what I'm in the mood for. And this is about basically the humans competing for the vampires and witches. And as soon as I read that, I'm like, I'm in. I actually saw this on, I think I said this before, but I saw this on a new YouTuber's channel talk about this book that she read this last month and she gave it like 5 stars. She said that she loved it. And again, the cover is absolutely freaking stunning with the gold foiling and the fruit and everything. I freaking love it. Actually, I think those are mushrooms. They are not fruit. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. And even the back, like, they didn't forget about making the back beautiful. I hate when, like, the back is, like, not really considered and it's just, like, solid. And I just love this. I think it's so gorgeous. I've been displaying it, but since I'm reading it right now, obviously I'm not displaying it. But it's just so good so far. And I'm on page 121 already. So I already got through the first 100 pages and I just started it last night because it's just so... This is actually really easy to read. The only thing I would say is that I feel like there's a little bit too much internal dialogue and not enough dialogue. But I feel like now, since they're just going to be getting into the games, it's just so cool because, like, it's based on these two human characters and humans compete in the trials for either the vampires or the witches, and the vampires and the witches decide who they want to, like, represent to compete for them. And, like, they need to choose, like, it's kind of similar to the Hunger Games. I feel like it's very hard to not make something similar to the Hunger Games now, because I feel like the Hunger Games was really, like, the book that got everybody to make a game or, like, trials in fantasy books. Like Powerless, the Red Queen is supposed to be similar. This book and Serpents of the Wings of Night has vampire trials. So, but the vampire trials in Serpents of the Wings of Night are so fascinating to me. And this I think is more YA because they're, like, you know, teenagers that they're talking about. I think they're like 17, and I'm not really sure how old the main she's 17. And her best friend, I think, is probably the same age. But yeah, it just sounds so cool. And, like, if you fight for the vampires or survive for the vampires, basically, you're not fighting. You're just fighting for your life, pretty much. For the vampires grant you immortality, and the witches will raise someone from the dead that you've lost. So I just thought it sounded like such a cool concept, and so far I'm really liking it a lot. So... And I feel like this book is going to take me no time to get through, but I'm actually going to listen to the audiobook in the car now when I'm going, because I decided to take myself to the bookstore because it is an absolutely beautiful day outside, and I was just going to stay home today and not go anywhere because I have so much planned for this weekend. But I'm like, it's such a beautiful day out. So I'm just going to be out for like an hour. I'm just going to go straight to the bookstore now, and then I'm just going to come back and read for the rest of the day. So yeah, at least I can listen to it in the car so I can get through like maybe a few more chapters. And then also one of my other books that I want to read next week is included in Spotify Premium. So I'm probably just going to use like my last 3 hours of listening time of listening to that, because that book is actually the longest book I have to read. But maybe I'll start that Sunday morning before I go to Jersey, because I should be done with Meet Me at the Lake by then, because I'm just going to read that Thursday into Saturday, and I should be finished with that book. That will not take me that long. Like, I should be able to start it tomorrow night, like reading it tomorrow night instead of listening to it. I'm not going to listen to it anymore because I don't want to waste any more listening hours on it. And again, like, since I'm already 100 pages in, it's not going to take any time. It's only 300 pages. And then, it depends on whether or not I'm going to start another. I think I am going to start another book Saturday, depending on if I finish Meet Me at the Lake, like Saturday afternoon. I think I'm going to go into Happiness for Beginners on Saturday. And then depending on where I am with that book, I want to start Of Jade and Dragons on my birthday. But also I can start that Sunday morning if I listen to it on Spotify Premium, and then I can listen to it because I'm not going to have any time to read anything physically that morning, because I have to be up at 8 so we can get to my friend's house by 10. So, and they don't live close. They live like a half hour away. So, I would have to leave the house by like 9:30 the latest, or even like 9:20, because I want to get to their house like maybe 5 minutes before, just so I can pee. Because I know if I don't go to the bathroom, I'm going to be so angry that I wasn't able to go. And I'm probably going to bring my water bottle with me in the car. So then I'll just go to the bathroom before we check everything out there. So that'll be a good time. So yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you guys all of this. But yeah, so far I've been making more progress in reading. And like I said, now all I want to do is read physically. So that's what I'm going to do when I get home. I picked up 5 books yesterday, but I'll probably share them tomorrow because this clip is already too long. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. Plans changed a little bit. I was supposed to go see my best friend, but I told him like around 12 this afternoon that I wasn't going to be able to come over because I'm actually seeing my boyfriend today. Because something's changed and his mom is actually away this weekend, so now I'm able to spend some time with him. I think we're just going to watch Umbrella Academy today because I've been waiting to watch the last season with him, so we're just going to watch that. We're probably just going to watch the premiere, which is fine. But also, like, I don't want to rush through it. I at least want to watch the premiere, so yeah, anyway, I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, so I wore like the same shirt that I wore to the beach on Friday, so I just went into my Cosmic Brushes Muse palette, and I just took a couple shades from this, because I thought this one would look really pretty with this, so I just went into Sweet Pea in the crease. And then I went into Whisper all over the lid. And then for the inner corners, I used Luster. And that's it. I just used those 3 shades. Like I've said before, I've been doing a lot more simpler looks this summer. And I just like am not spending as much time on my makeup as I usually do. I didn't wear makeup yesterday. I just binged a book yesterday. And I did finish it. And I'll talk to you guys about that at the end. And then also, I'm seeing my best friend tomorrow for the beach. I'm going to the beach tomorrow with everybody because it's supposed to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. I think we're over like our reading. I was about to say reading slump, which I'll get into that at the end as well. But let me just check something. Yeah, our rain slump is over, and tomorrow is supposed to be super sunny and 87 degrees. It's not supposed to rain until Sunday, which is perfect because I'm going to be indoors on Sunday. So even though we're going to Jersey, everything we're doing is indoors because, like I said, it's an indoor mall with an indoor amusement park, so which is perfection. Like, whoever thought of that is a genius, because then, like, they never have to worry about weather issues when everything's inside. And then I went into the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Amethyst Hour on my waterline. And then I went into the Tower 28 Mascara on my top lashes. And then I just went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 SOS Facial Spray and the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I wanted to go back into this one because I haven't used it in a little while. So I went into the Beauty Blender Bound Skin Tint in the shade Light 1. I think this one is still my favorite out of all of them. Like, my top three, especially for the summertime, is the Beauty Blender one, the Cali Ray one, and the Tower 28. The Tower 28 makes my skin a little bit too dewy, though, that I feel like this one is a little bit more of like a demi-matte finish, so it's not like as dewy, like, because usually like my forehead is the part of my face that gets the most dewy. So, and then I set my face with the I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder again. And then for my bronzer, I just went into the ColourPop Elviva Beach bronzer again. I'm actually hitting pretty serious pan in it, because I use this bronzer at least 2 to 3 times a week. It's like one of my favorites, and I have some pretty good pan in it. So I just love it. Hopefully I'll be able to use it up at some point, but if I do use it up, I'm probably just going to end up repurchasing it because it's like my favorite bronzer. Like, you don't know, like, there's so many staple ColourPop products that I have that I will just constantly repurchase, like the Pretty Fresh powder, the lengthening mascara, and the Act Natural mascara. I've probably repurchased those like 3 times at this point, and the Tower 28 one as well. And then I'm probably going to repurchase that bronzer whenever I use it up. And then for my blush, I went into the House Labs Stick Blush again in the shade Glassy Hibiscus. I'm not really in love with this one, to be honest. I think this is the 3rd time I've used it, and honestly, like, it looks good today, but compared to like the other liquid blushes or cream blushes that I've been using, this one is not as good. Like, I feel like the Lawless one is fantastic. The Beauty Blender one's really good, and the ColourPop liquid blush is great. And also the cream blushes from ColourPop have also been really good. So, I don't know. I'm still using it, so it's not like I wasted my money, but I'm not like totally in love with it. But it is nice for like a light blush for like an everyday look. And then I set my face with the Tower 28 spray again. It's just so hydrating, so that's why I love using it like all the time. Actually, I used the Do It spray. I need to get a new one, so probably gonna go to Ulta and just pick that up. But I actually have to wait a little bit until I can go to Ulta because they're actually completely renovating our Ulta here. I could just go to another one, but honestly I don't want to because the other ones are far. I could probably go to Comac. I think there's one in Comac, but I don't like desperately need to get it, and I think the renovation's going to be done by like the end of next week, so it's still going to be done before August is over, so I'll probably just pick it up then. And then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel, and then for my lips, I just went into a nude. I was thinking about going into like a purpley shade, but I'm like, no, I just want to use a nude shade. I don't want everything to be purple, so I just went into the L'Oreal, I don't even know what this one is called, but it has like such a fragrance to it, but it's still good. Like, it's still kicking, and this lipstick is old and it doesn't feel like it's gonna be bad anytime soon. So this is the Le Mose Taupe, the shade 983. I don't even know if they make these anymore. Let me know if they do, because I really have no idea. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I did finish The Revenant Games last night. I almost didn't because like when I only had 50 pages left, I was like, I don't know if I really feel like reading anymore. Oh, wait, I forgot to say my highlighter. I went into the Kaleidos Lo-Fi Duo Blusher, and I took the shade Bloom, which is just such a beautiful like purpley highlighter. I thought I wanted to use a different one, but honestly, I couldn't find it. And honestly, that's like really the one I wanted to use anyway. Just the Kaleidos ones always pull through. They're always so gorgeous. And when I use a Kaleidos highlighter, I always know it's going to show up. So it's always so beautiful. It's like Kaleidos Beauty. Hold on, that was a brain fart. Kaleidos Give Me Glow and Blend Bunny, I always know are going to show. They're like the best highlighters in my collection. And Odin's Eye. Those are like my top 4 that I always know are going to show up. So anyway, I finished the Revenant games, and like I said, when I was on like the last 50 pages, I was getting like a little tired of reading, but I'm like, no, I'm going to finish it. So I ended up just audiobooking one more chapter because like I had gotten up to, I think, like 360 at that point. So then I only had like 40 pages left. So I'm like, let me just listen to a chapter and then I'll go back and finish it, because the last 2 chapters, like the second to last chapter was only 4 pages. So I was like, I'll just read that one. And then I went to shower and then I just finished the last chapter. I was like, let me take one more break so I can be ready to finish it. And it was so good. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was just nearly there. But I've just been reading such good books this month. Like, I would recommend this to anyone who needs a fast-paced fantasy. This was so easy to read, so bingeable. I did not think I was going to finish it in a day. I thought I was going to have to finish it today, like this afternoon, but no, I finished it last night and it was just so fast. So I really liked it. And then, like I said, I was going to go straight into Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. So now I'm going to be reading maybe like, this might be the only romance book that I read right now. It's a little slow, to be honest. Like, I'm a little bit bored, but I'm on page 163 because, like I said, I did start this on Spotify Premium and I got up to page like 109, so I read like 50 pages today. I was gonna try and read it last night and read a little bit more, but I was so tired at that point that I just tried to go to sleep, but of course I ended up not really sleeping that great. But I'm pretty much more than halfway through because this book is only 305 pages, so I should be able to finish this tonight. I'm pretty sure, like, after me and my mom finish our puzzle, because we're, like, really close to finishing it, I should be able to just go into this and finish it later. I decided not to listen to any more of it because I want to save my last 3 hours of Spotify Premium listening time for the fantasy book that I'm going to read next week, which is of Jade and Dragons. I'm going to probably start that, or start audiobooking it probably tomorrow morning, because I have to get ready for the beach tomorrow morning. And if I start a new book on Spotify, then I'll feel a little bit better, because I'm not going to be able to start the next book I want to read physically until tomorrow night, because I'm not going to have any time to read tomorrow morning. So I'm hoping to finish this tonight. I'm pretty sure I will. I'm like so into reading again right now. Like, after reading The Spell Shop and the Revenant games, all I want to do is read now. Like, before, I was feeling a bit slumpish and I felt like not picking up a physical book. And now I'm like back in my reading element and I'm crushing books in like a day and a half. So it just makes you feel, there's no better feeling than finishing a book. Like, I don't know what replicates finishing a book. Like, finishing a show, finishing a movie. Like, a movie's easy to finish. It's like 2 hours of your life. But like a show, it's a huge commitment. And sometimes you just don't want to commit to like 11 seasons of something. But finishing a book, it takes just as little time as like watching 2 movies. Because like, if you really think about it, you only really spend like 5 to 6 hours reading a book. But if I like spread it out throughout a day, it doesn't feel as big of a commitment. And also, like, I've found that I read a little bit faster now, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to read 100 pages in one sitting. No, I read like 40 pages here, 60 pages there, 30 pages there. Like, I'll break it up into like smaller portions, because like sometimes, like I said, you can get a little bit mentally drained if you like go for like a long amount of time. But if you can do that, you do you. Obviously, read at your own pace, whatever you want to read. If you want to read a page or 5 pages or 10 pages, like, it's up to you. But like, or 100 pages, but like, now, like, I'm so in my reading element again, and all I'm thinking about is reading now, when before I was feeling a little bit reading slumpish because I was just not feeling like picking up a physical book. Like I said, I was still finishing books, but I was finishing them a little bit slower than I usually do. But now I'm fully in it. So, like, I'm super excited to read again. So, after I finish this one, I'm going to go right into Happiness for Beginners by Catherine Center, because that one's only 300 pages as well. And I should hopefully finish that by Saturday night. And then I will have gotten 8 books read before Jersey. My goal was only to finish 2 books this week. And then I'm like, I might be able to finish 4. But I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself finishing that book. Maybe I'll finish it Sunday night, because I am not going to feel like wanting to start a new book Sunday night anyway. And also that's why I'm going to audiobook the first few chapters of Jade and Dragons, because then I can at least start that book, because that's going to be the next book that I read after Happiness for Beginners. So, and that's going to be my birthday read. So, yeah, I'm pretty set for the books I want to read for the next like week. Because then after that, I want to read Carly Fortune's This Summer Will Be Different, so that I can at least get all of Carly Fortune's books done. And then I'm probably going to read 2 other romances, and then probably finish off the month with fantasy again, because like I said, I only had 4 romance books to read this month, which was that book, This Summer Will Be Different, My Roommate is a Vampire, and 15 Summers After. So I think I'm going to read all of those. And then after that, I will figure out what I want to read. I'm not really sure yet, but I know that those 4 romance books and of Jade and Dragons I want to read within the next like week or so. So that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I don't know why I said that weird. Okay, so hey there guys. Hey there guys. So I did tell you guys that I was going to go to the beach today. This is like the 5th time I've went to the beach in the past like 2 months, but that's what you do in the summertime. You go to the beach. But I didn't go back to my friend's house after. I wasn't sure if me and my best friend were going to go back. And then, like, my other friends were making jokes saying, like, oh, just because Chris doesn't go back doesn't mean you will. And I'm like, I kind of wanted to save a little energy for Sunday. And also, I just ended up going back to my best friend's place, and we just hung out there. Because honestly, like, hanging out in the heat all day, it's fucking draining. And also drinking, I was going to be fucking exhausted. I'm already exhausted anyway, but I just didn't really have the social battery to do that today, to be honest. Like, it was fine at the beach, obviously, but, like, I didn't really feel like going back. But I am most likely going to be going back next Friday. I don't think Chris is even going to be able to make it. I don't think he's going to be able to get that day off. So at least he was able to get off today so we could both go. But then I was like, I don't really feel like going back. I just felt like going back to his place, and we just chilled there. And actually, I didn't feel like spending money on getting booze, because honestly, like, me and Karen and her husband are the only ones that drink Trulies, and I wasn't going to buy an entire pack for literally just the 3 of us, because it was just going to be the 3 of us this time. Not that that doesn't happen every time, because it's only us that are usually drinking the Trulies, even if more people are over, because we're the only ones that drink them. So I was like, I really don't feel like spending an extra $20 for me to drink 3 of them, and then the rest are for Karen's husband. So I'm just like, I really don't feel like spending the money. If Lisa drank them because she's the one that hosts, then hell yeah, I would do it every single time. But it just gets a little expensive. So anyway, I just went in with concealer today. I already put it away, so I'm just going to tell you guys what I used real quick. It, like, really wasn't that involved. I just went in with the Kulfi concealer in the shade Bad Batum on my eyes. Because originally I was just going to do concealer, but then I did do, like, just a couple of single shadows, actually. So then I went into the Cali Ray Skin Diffusing Tint. Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint. I forget, I think it's in the shade The One. But I did prime, oh my god, why am I going backwards? I primed with the Tara 28 SOS Facial Spray. Then I went in with the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then I went into the Cali Ray Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. And then I used the Kulfi Concealer in the shade Bad Batum on my eyes. And then I set them with the House Labs powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then I went into mascara, which was the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara. And then I bronzed up my skin with the Milani Dolce Bronzer. And then I went into the Milani blush in the shade Rosa Romantica, just because this was in front of me. And also I love this blush, so why not use it? And then I decided to go into eyeshadow. I know I kind of went into sometimes I don't always do my makeup in that exact order. That's just usually how I tell you guys that I do it, because it usually is the way that I do my makeup. And then I decided to throw on some shadows, so I just went into Creme Brulee by Makeup Geek, and then I just went into this really old Anastasia lid shade, well, shimmer shade. I don't even know what this shade is called. It's called Amber, and honestly, I should be using these every time I go to the beach. Then I could get some more use out of them, so I'm probably going to use them this coming Friday as well. They still perform so well, so I think I am going to use a couple of these next week as well. Probably just go into these, like, ColourPop ones and then, like, figure it out from there. And then I just went into Shimma Shimma by Makeup Geek on the inner corners, and I swear, this shade is, like, the most pigmented freaking shimmer. Like, it is insanely creamy and it picks up so well. Do you see that? It's like a cream eyeshadow in powder form. It's like insanely pigmented. You need like the tiniest amount, and it's like already full on your inner corners. And then I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Money on the brow bone. I have to clean this desk so badly, it's not even funny. And yeah, that's what I went into. But I also grabbed this so I could tell you guys my highlighter. I just went into Cheers by Blend Money, of course, as usual, because it's literally like the easiest thing to go into. Why did I turn this over? So the shimmer got all over my keyboard. Don't mind me. And then for my lips, I can't believe my birthday is in 3 days. I'm going to be 36. Pretty sure 36. I'm still 35, but I'm going to be 36. Can you believe that shit? I'm old. I'm getting so old. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into the Tara 28 Lip Balm. Again, these are like the best for the beach. The Tara 28 Lip Softy Tinted Lip Treatment in the shade Dolce de Leche. And that's everything I used as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as reading update goes, I did finish Meet Me at the Lake last night by Carly Fortune. I finished it already. It only took me another day to finish it completely. I was up to like page 230 by the time I was gonna like, you know, get ready for bed and everything. And then I think I listened to like a chapter. So then I only had like 50 pages left, and I just banged those out in like an hour, and I finished it. And now I've read 7 books this month. Now I already started my 8th one today, and I think honestly this is probably my favorite one that I've been reading out of the 3 that I was very eager to get to, and I already finished 2 out of the 3, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So Meet Me at the Lake, it was just boring to me. I didn't hate it though, like everybody else hates. A lot of people hate this book, but at the same time, like more people like Every Summer After. But there's also people that hate Every Summer After for good reason though. But I preferred Every Summer After over Meet Me at the Lake. I just thought it was a better story. It was better written. But I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy this. I just think it was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. I don't think it's anything that I would tell people to be like, go out and read this. It's amazing. It was just okay. I gave it a 3.25 or a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm just like, take it or leave it, you know? It was just okay. So I still preferred Every Summer After, though. I gave that a 4.25 out of 5. But at the same time, like, this didn't really scratch my summer romance itch because at the same time, I wasn't really into that story that much. But it was okay. I definitely enjoyed it more than Spanish Love Deception because Spanish Love Deception was just way too long. This was an easy read. It was only 305 pages. I just don't know if I'm going to be getting to It Happened One Summer. And I've said that so many times. But I'd rather finish my Carly Fortune books, and now I only have one more, which is This Summer Will Be Different, and that seems to be everybody's favorite book from her so far. So I'm going to read that next week. But I wanted to get into this book next, and that is Catherine Center's Happiness for Beginners, and this is actually one of my prompts for the month. This is my 5-star on Goodreads prompt, and so far I'm loving this. This is... I just started it today. I'm only on page 52, but I should be able to bang out another 100 pages tonight, and then I'll be halfway through because it's only 310 pages. And then I'm hoping to finish this by tomorrow night so I can at least get one more book done before Jersey. So that's why I'm happy that I didn't pick fantasy reads for the last 3 days because I just wanted to pick like 300-page books that I could finish really quickly. But I also thought I was gonna be home earlier, but I'm probably going to be able to read at least another 100 pages because I'm loving this. I am just so happy to be reading one of her books again. I've only read Hello Strangers so far from her, and I loved that book so much. That was like a 6-star read for me. I loved that book to pieces, and I think I'm going to love this too. And also, I'm really happy that I'm reading this because I really want to watch the Netflix movie after I finish it. So, I didn't even realize that movie was based on this book. And what was so great about getting this book on Goodreads, I mean, as one of my prompts and literally being the Goodreads 5-star prompt, was that I was dying to read another Catherine Center book anyway, and I was just so happy that it was this one, and I didn't even know it was a movie, and I didn't even know it was the movie with the guy from Yellowstone and the main character of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She's literally Kimmy Schmidt, and she's also on The Office, and I just think it's going to be so much fun to watch it. I just really want to watch a movie after reading the book. I never really do that. Out of all the books that I've read, the only one I was planning on seeing and the only one that has become a movie that I have read so far is It Ends With Us. So I'm really excited to watch this, and I can just watch this in the comfort of my own home. So, but anyway, so The Revenant Games, Meet Me at the Lake, and Happiness for Beginners were all my most prioritized or most eager to read reads that I wanted to read this week. I just wasn't sure which one I wanted to read first. So I used the color wheel, and it ended up, well, the Wheel of Names, and it ended up landing on this book. But I was like, let me save the shorter books for the weekend or right before Jersey, because I'm glad I read The Revenant Games on Wednesday because I finished that book on Wednesday. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad I picked a little bit of a longer book to finish on Wednesday, and then I finished Meet Me at the Lake last night, and then I should finish this by tomorrow. So the fact that I'm already going to finish these 3 books that I was so eager to read is crazy to me. So, but we're just going to read more, so bye! Okay, so hey there guys, so I have like 3 makeup looks that I need to catch you guys up on because it was my birthday weekend, so I kind of forgot to film a clip on Saturday. I had already put all my crap on my chair to get into bed on Saturday night, and I'm pretty tired because I'll tell you guys what I did yesterday, but today's like my actual birthday, but we have to go back a couple days. So, Saturday I just went over to my boyfriend's house and spent like a few hours there. We just watched Umbrella Academy. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer. And then I just used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then I just went back into the ColourPop 1111 palette because I just wanted to throw on some eyeshadow and leave, because I only was able to spend like a few hours there, like from 4 to like a little bit before 8, because I knew I had to wake up really early yesterday. So I'm just going to be yawning like this whole time. So I went into Cool Thoughts in the crease, and then I just used Manifest It on the lid, and then I just went into Total Angel in the inner corners, and that's all I used. I love this palette so much, though. I use it so much. It's just one of my favorite ColourPop palettes I own. And then I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. And then for the waterline, I believe I went into the LA Girl liner in the shade Brown. I started using that one again. It's just a little bit easier. And then I just went into the ColourPop lengthening mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 spray and the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then I just went into the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, and then I just used the Kulfi Concealer in the shade I used the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Cool Ivory. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my my bronzer, I went into the Ilia bronzer in the shade Drawn In. But I can't remember what blush and highlighter that I used. I cannot remember for the life of me which ones they were. I thought I went into a new blush, but I really can't remember. I remember what lippy it was, but I can't remember what blush and highlighter I used. Even after looking at the video, I can't remember which one it was. So I'm sorry about that. It is crazy. Like sometimes, like when I'm watching like certain makeup looks, like if someone's doing a voiceover and they'd say like, you know, they use their eyeshadow, they don't even know what lid shade they went into. They're like, I'm not sure which one, but I went into this, like this matte shade. I can't remember what blush and highlighter I used, so I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I thought that I used my Blend Bunny Cosmetics highlighter, but I don't think I did. I thought I used that for the beach. So sorry, but I can't turn back time and figure it out. So I set my face with the Tower 28 SOS spray. I just used like a nude blush and like a light highlighter. Oh, I remember. I used the Georgia Peach blush from Benefit. I remember that blush, but I don't think I remember the highlighter. But I remember I used that blush. Okay. So I'm going to have to figure out which highlighter it is. And then I set my face with the Tower 28 spray again, and I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into the MAC lipstick in the shade The Right Note. And then as far as a reading update goes, I did finish Happiness for Beginners by Catherine Center on Saturday night, because I knew I wanted to finish it that night because I was going to Jersey the next day, and then today was my birthday. So I wanted to at least finish one more book before I couldn't really read on Sunday, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I gave it a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I thought it was going to be a 5-star, but the last like 75 pages, I wasn't really like in love with it, but the first like 2/3 of the book, I loved it. I thought it was so funny, but it just didn't hit as much for me as her first book that I read from her, which is Hello Stranger. But I still want to read her entire backlist. I'm going to read How to Walk Away in September. That's going to be on my September TBR, but I've read 2 of her books now, and I still enjoy her writing so much, so I'm so excited to read more of her books. So, yeah. That was Saturday. Now let's go into Sunday. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys about Sunday's makeup look. So for Sunday, I didn't want to record it all in one clip because that's like a 30-minute clip sometimes. I went to American Dream with my friends for my birthday, and it's like this huge mall in Jersey where there's like an amusement parks inside, there's a water park, there's a Nickelodeon Studios, there's a aquarium, there's two mini golf courses. It goes on and on and on. There's like two food courts, dozen restaurants. There's just like so many things to do there, and it was so sick. It was so much fun. I had a great time. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, let me just show you guys. I thought I took a video of the levels, but I guess it's on my Facebook. No, it's not on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram. Duh. Archive. Yesterday. This is what it looks like. It's friggin' huge. That's like not even the half of it. But do you see like those this is the aquarium. This is the mini golfing. And then where's my other video? Weird. Oh, I posted them later on. Oops. And this is like some of the Nickelodeon stuff. This is like a huge drop. You go all the way up to the top. We rode that roller coaster that's literally right here. It's so crazy when like the roller coaster tracks like go like in between some other rides. It was just awesome. It was so much fun. I had such a blast. What a great birthday. Or a way to celebrate my birthday with my friends. And Jersey's so close. It's only an hour away. So it's just great. We loved it. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into the ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2 palette. And what's so funny is that I used this palette when we went to Medieval Times in October, and we saw the American Dream Mall across the street from Medieval Times, and we're like, what is that? And we checked it out like online, and we're like, we're totally doing this. Like, we just needed to find a time to do it. And I was like, no, we're doing it for my birthday. So it was just amazing. But it's just so funny that I used the same eyeshadow palette yesterday as the one I was wearing when we went to Medieval Times for my other friend's birthday. And I didn't even plan that. I just picked this palette out, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was the palette I literally used that same time. So I went into Havoc in the crease. Then I went into Witch Hunters. Oh my god, I can't speak. I'm so tired. Into the defining area. And then I went into Till Midnight on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went into 17th Century. And then for the inner corners, I went into Candle is a Light. And I love this palette. This palette's so good. I hadn't used it in a hot second, but obviously I was going to use some ColourPop on my birthday weekend. I didn't use ColourPop today on my birthday, though. Wow, shocker. And then I went into Makeup by Mario's liner in the shade Black. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then I went into my Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara, and then I went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. Ow. I'm like stabbing myself. That hurt. And then I primed my face with the, with my nail, because I'm like itching my leg, with the, Terra 28 SOS spray. Oh my god, I'm so tired. And then I went into the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer because We were there from 11:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. So we were there like almost 12 hours. Um, and we did a lot. It was just so much fun. And then I went into what bronzer did I use? Maybe maybe it was the House Labs. I cannot remember. Maybe it was like level 1. I'm not really sure. Or it might have been Pat McGrath Labs powder in the shade. Bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. I can't remember. Sorry, it was too early. And then for the blush, I went into the House Labs blush in the shade Fire Moon because I knew this would last all day, and it really did. It was amazing. It's amazing how long those blushes last. And then for my highlight, I went into Jaclyn Hill's loose highlighter in the shade Extra. I don't support her anymore. I haven't supported her in quite a while. But I can't deny this highlighter is freaking amazing. I love it. It's so glowy and beautiful and sparkly. And I knew it was going to last a long time yesterday. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray. And then I set my brows with the Essence Lash Primer. And then for my lips, I went into, I don't remember what lip liner I used. Maybe it was just BFF from ColourPop. And then for my lipstick, I went into the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow. So that's everything that I used yesterday. And again, what a blast. Such a fun time. We want to go back in December because they have a snow lodge there. Like a ski lodge. An indoor ski lodge. We just thought that would be so sick, so we kind of want to do it. And we might possibly do the escape room then, because like they have an escape room too. They have a movie theater. They have a bowling alley. Like literally everything you could do in that one place is there, except for a bookstore. If they had a bookstore, this place would be fucking perfect. But they don't have a bookstore. And I'm like, how the fuck did they not have a bookstore here? They have everything else. It was amazing. We loved it so much, and we're so excited to go back. I can't wait. So yeah, that's everything for yesterday, and then I'll tell you guys about my makeup look for today.